Welcome everyone to an exciting night. Loose Lugnuts Racing, sponsored by Over the Top Designs, the Race Guys, or the Wise Guys, and all of our other sponsors. You can see them right there, the Wise Guys on there as well. And this is the Loose Lugnuts Racing Series. Get ready to go racing here at Dover. It's going to be a fun race. It's going to be a very exciting race. I'm sitting here looking at the practice that I got here kind of late, so I didn't have time to actually set up everything. But I expect cautions early in this race. I'm noticing a lot of guys you'll have to see yourself what I'm talking about. I've seen a little bit of cautions here and there, or wrecks here and there. Don't know if that's how the race is going to be. These guys put on a great race last week at Daytona, a very fun race, and I look forward to it being just as good. But I do expect early cautions to come out real fast, and that is not supposed to say Sim Racing Short Trackers. It's supposed to say it's Loose Lugnuts Racing, but apparently my thing didn't save. Anyway, as you look at the weather, air temp 80 degrees, track temp 91 degrees, wind speed 9.73 miles per hour out of the east. And here's the information about your track. Dover, the Monster Mile, 1.02 miles, 4 turns, and track temp 91 degrees. So, qualifying's get ready to get started here in about 3 minutes, and I'm looking at some of these guys. You got Dustin Lee, Devin Armstrong, Wesley Holland, Brady Briggs, Donald Stewart, your top 5 right now on the charts. We'll have to wait and actually see how these guys do in qualifying. There's a couple other guys as well. I want to bring in one, if he's not on the track, I want to bring in Bob Wells if I can find him and pull him in and see what he thinks about this. Right now he's 9th on the board. We'll pull him in. Hey, Bob, you got me? Bob Wells, you got a copy? Don't think he's there, so we'll pull him back down to where he was, and we'll try to get, and I think I put him in the wrong place. We'll pull him back down. We'll try to get him in here in just a few minutes, if I can actually drag him. Alright, so as I mentioned, this race is going to be very exciting. Always tough to pass. I do, with these Xfinity cars or the B-Class cars, you're going to see that middle groove really come into play. You're going to see guys drive it down deep into the corner, come up off the corner, and drive it up against the wall on the outside, exit a turn, especially turn 4. Turn 2, in my personal opinion, is my worst corner. I know a lot of guys may argue with that and say turn 4 is probably the toughest corner, but I always seem like really any part of this track you really goes tough. But turn 2 I always have trouble with maybe scraping the wall, especially if I'm side by side somebody that could cause problems coming down onto someone, causing big wrecks. And there's a definition of what we see in practice, a big wreck. And I'm not playing when I say big wreck. We will see the big one here tonight, and it's going to be the biggest one we've had all season. Even though it's our second race, will be bigger in Daytona because the walls are so tightly packed here. Honestly, it really reminds you of a bigger Bristol, except you don't run the high line. So take it however you want, man. I mean, this is going to be a fun race. It's going to be an exciting race. It's not going to be an easy race for these guys, though. It's going to have to. They're going to have to be patient. They're going to have to show a lot of patience and try to be calm. But of course, we know tempers run very, very short here, and yeah. So what I want to do, if I can actually, let me message one of the admins and see if I can get him in here to talk a little bit about this league and stuff like that. If I can find him. And we will get ready to go here in just a moment. Let me see if I can actually find him. I don't see John in here. There he is. Let me see if I can get him in here for an interview. .28 seconds left here in qualify or practice, as you see a wreck on the front stretch. That's what I was talking a little bit about before we went to that little silent treatment, I guess. But that's what we're going to see quite a bit of, I believe, here tonight. This is going to be a caution-filled race early. You can already see that. I mean, we got so many drivers in here, and I think it's going to balance out. We always see races balance out over time, but Dover's such a tough place to run. And now with the sorry about that. that was popped up on the channel. I wasn't expected to get posted there. I apologize. So practice coming to an end, and we will get this qualifying underway. 5 minutes of qualifying. We'll hop over and we'll watch one of the drivers heading out onto the track now. Alan Matting, I'm sorry. And the number 317 City Chevrolet. We'll be going quite a bit here through some of these drivers and give everybody an idea of who they are and what car they are driving tonight. Looks like he's going to take his time here, so we'll hop over to the 4 of Wesley Holland. Wesley coming out of turn 4, and he will start his green flag lap here at Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile, as he goes down into 1 and 2. You can see where he's running, not running exactly on the bottom. And he will dive it in here in 3 and 4. Should try to get to the bottom. He will. Still not as low as I thought. He'll wash up some. Usually on the center. Now he gets actually to the bottom and to exit at 3 and 4, which is a little bit different. And he crosses the finish line. Good lap for him with a 23.416. Currently so far, 6 drivers have qualified. Brady Briggs jumps up to the top of the board. Dustin Covington in the 49 Chevrolet. Coming out of turn 4, gets the wall. That lap will not count. Pat Russia in the 052. And for some reason, I'm not seeing Pat's paints tonight. Not sure why. So we'll see what Pat can do here. Currently, green flag. He will jump up a little bit. 23.692, and it does not count his lap, which is kind of odd. So it will not count his lap in Manuscript Wall. 028 James Brown, 12th place. Sorry about the post, guys. I know that's popping up on the screen. That's post from one of the league admins in here. So it looks like we are going to have a co-broadcaster, I think. Devin Armstrong. Who else is on the track? Dustin Lee in the number 051 Chevrolet. As he is first with a 23.237, and it looks like that may be one of the spots to actually get. It looks like he may have the top spot. Nobody else right now on track. But right now your pole sitter is going to be Dustin Lee in that 051. We'll have to wait and see if anybody else heads out and puts down a lap. We're waiting to see. I don't see nobody. We got a couple guys that have not qualified. Trent Drum, Craig Covington, JU's Scott Littner, Tim Campbell, and Brandon Dorsett has yet to qualify. So there's a few guys that haven't qualified. Sitting here looking at this charts right now, it looks like we got around 20, how many now? About 29 drivers, I believe, actually in here. So we just got to wait and see if that's how they continue to set or not, unless one of these other guys hop out on track and put on a good lap. Alright, so we got about a minute left here in qualifying, and we will get the green flag underway. Once again, guys, make sure you all check out the sponsors, the Wise Guys. Of course, check out Loose Lugnuts and Overtop Designs, and of course, Race Ready. You will see their logo on the commercial brace we have tonight. Once again, quick look at the weather and the track temp. Alright, we got about 18 seconds left. We'll get this grid set. I want to pull in Dustin Lee if I can find him. There he is. Hey, Dustin, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, it looks like you're going to have the pole here tonight. It looks like you just got the pole now. What's going to be the key to keeping the car clean tonight, man? This, from what I've seen in practice, this could be a little bit hectic here early on.
Well, definitely want to start front here, but I think the restart's going to be pretty tricky here. Get a lot of wheel spin, so definitely going to have to be on our toes there. But hopefully just stay out front.
What, in your mind, what is the biggest issue that you could face here? We know pit road's very tricky, but in your mind, what is going to be the biggest issue?
I think the biggest issue is just coming out of 2 and 4. That wall comes up pretty quick when you come up out of the hole there.
All right, man. Go out there and see what you can do. You look fast so far, so we'll be up here watching. Good luck, and I'll hope to talk to you here at the end of the race.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy. Here we go, guys. Here's your grid. Dustin Lee, Brady Briggs on the outside. Wesley Holland. And we got the 4th place. Don't know who that is, by the way. I apologize. That's just his name in the session. So sorry about that. Devin Armstrong, Brian Brizzle, Donald Stewart, Pat Russia. Make sure you check out Pat's. He does some really nice paint schemes as well. Bob Elter, David Johnson, Bob Wells, Ronald Klein, Anthony Poston, Dustin Covington, James Brown, Robert Mattis, in row number 9, and the rest of the field. As these guys get ready to roll off the pit road, you'll see how many cars are in here tonight as they get ready to go by. Ford Mustang pace car going to be leading us to the green as we get ready to go here live from Dover. It's going to be a good one. Remember I said keep your eyes open. There's going to be a little bit of car. I got that feeling here early on, but I do think the race will sort out. Remember, we are running stages tonight, and if you don't understand what I mean by stages, of course the NASCAR runs stage racing and stuff like that. 35 laps is the first stage, and then the 35 laps after is the very next stage. As we start rolling off the field, 051. We're going to be bringing in a special guest to help call the race here tonight as well. There's Dustin on the front row, getting ready to lead us to the green flag. And here we go. Green flag about to come out here at Dover International Speedway. 35 laps is what we're racing to in this first stage. And we are green flag here in Dover International Speedway. We are side by side all the way throughout the field as Dustin Lee leads them into turn 1. We're still, looks like the 071 Brady Briggs trying to get that middle lane to work. Not going to be able to do it as he slides in behind Dustin. Now the next battle spot we have on track is actually back in 11th. This is Bob Wells starting to put some pressure on David Johnson. We were side by side just a moment ago, and that went away fairly quick. And it looks like everybody else starting to get single file a little bit, trying to get some laps underneath their belt. As we still watch the battle for the top spot. Brady Briggs looking on the back of the 51's bumper. Brady coming out of turn 4, trying not to get too much pressure up on him. He's looking to the inside here going into turn 1. Dustin going to do everything he can to hold him off using that higher line. We'll see if he can hold him off for now. Almost making contact. There may have been a little bit of contact. Now here comes third place. Wesley Woodyard, I'm sorry. Or Holland. Can't even pronounce it right. I want to welcome my guest to the booth. Welcome to the booth, sir. Let everybody know who you are, because I just see Wood.
Yeah.
Jason,
Jeff
right?
Wood. No,
Jeff Wood. I don't know why I said Jason. All right, so Jeff Wood joining me in the booth. I apologize about that. I just see the last name, and it kind of Caught me off guard, man. All right, so you've been part of this league for a while now. You know a lot more about it than I do. Tell us a little bit about what these guys are going to be facing tonight.
I mean, we're at Dover tonight here at Lugnuts Racing League. It is what it is. Somewhat of a short track field. You got your two dominant guys out front right now, who would be Dustin Lee and Wes Holland.
Right.
Wes Holland, obviously the king of loose lug nuts at the moment. However, Dustin Lee, strong guy. People to watch, my opinion. You want to watch Tribble, Bazell, and for a little bit of a sneaky pick, always watch Mark Jackson.
Let me ask you a question with the aspect of stage racing, and when we go 35 laps on this first stage, we're already 6 laps in. We're watching a battle right now with Brady Briggs in a 13. Brady's going to be able to take back third place. But with the aspect of stage racing when it comes to Dover, how do you go about approaching that, man? Because there's so many different strategies that you can do in this race.
Well, from what I've heard, you get the fuel set up to where it runs a little bit short of the stage.
Right.
So you can be in conservation mode. We saw that a little bit when I viewed the Thursday truck race here at Dover. You had a couple guys. Side by side.
We got smoke somewhere. Who is that? Oh, 51. Caution does come out, and our leader does go around. Dustin Lee, we just talked to him under the pace lap, and I think this was possibly between the 4 and the 51. Let's go back a little bit further. What did you see here?
Well, from my perspective, looked like the 4 came up out of the corner a little bit early and tagged the 051 of Dustin Lee.
Watching the replay now, and that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like the 4 slid up, and unfortunately, both of them cars with damage, and 051 with the most of that damage, of course, of Dustin Lee, our pole sitter. So Wesley Holland takes over the top spot for now, and we'll see. I think, don't they get black flags for causing a caution? I would have to look at the rules, but I'm pretty sure it's a black flag, right?
It could be.
Okay.
It's been some time since my tenure. I know they give EOLs. That way, you can run damage and whatnot. But I'm not sure if they can. Depends on the admins.
Let me ask you, since you watched the truck race that these guys run on Thursday, and of course you probably raced Dover as well in the past in your own time and stuff like that. What is the toughest challenges that you face coming here? To me, it seems like pit road, especially if we have a green flag pit stop. Pit road seems like it's one of the toughest places.
Yeah, pit road here, if it hasn't changed, and I haven't been on track in a little bit, but pit road speed versus track speed on green flag pit stops, you do not want to be caught on pit road.
Right. Yeah, I think it's 35 miles per hour, I think, is the pit road speed, which
35, 40 is a little bit ridiculous from ridiculous from actual racing speed.
Yeah, I think the actual speed is like 45 the actual pit road speed here. I don't know. I don't think it's 35 here in real life. It may be, but it's really slow.
Yeah, NASCAR goes off of RPMs and tire speed and whatnot, but.
Some contact between the 00 and 51 just now. The 00 actually drove into the side of the 51 on the backstretch, and he's actually coming up pit road. Not sure what that was about. I'm sorry, the 00 into 4, not the 51. Wow, not sure what that was. But it looks like Wesley Holland will be still out front. I think we're about to go back green. Pace lights could be going off this time. Have to wait and see. As they cross the start-finish line, pace lights are going to stay on for at least one more lap. So, 11 laps in, or 1 lap 11, and so far, Wesley's been, one of the guys to beat, and you mentioned Treble could be one of the other guys to beat in that 13 car. Brady Briggs, we knows fast about everything he races as well. Bob Wells, another fast guy, running 5th right now. Any other sleepers in the field that you feel like could come up and possibly, grab a victory or have a good run here?
Well, like you said, you mentioned Bob Wells. Always right there at the end if he positions himself well. Right now we're looking at the leader, though, with right front damage. So
Yeah.
Uh, it's incredibly hard to get into the turns the worse you get your tires down. So the 13 looks like it has a clean nose right now. So I think we can see the 13 pick up the pace. As for another sleeper, it's been a long time since I've seen some of these guys race, but on this shorter of a track, I would go with the Constants, and
Right.
that'd be probably somewhere in the top 10 as we speak right now, all the way down to David Johnson.
Yeah, I feel like Donald Stewart could be somebody that may pop up there at any time and possibly, have a great run. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this place is so different than any other track we run. Everything happens so fast, and honestly, it's such a small, narrow track. You can consider it a short track, like you mentioned earlier. When a wreck happens here, especially if it happens up front, it's usually going to be pretty big, especially if we're close like we are on these restarts.
Yeah, on the restarts, it's critical to get, I would hate to say it, out of the 2x2 formation.
Right.
And try to run for your spot right then and there. That's what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah, I was watching the practice earlier, and I seen, a couple of wrecks, and one of the biggest wrecks I've seen was on the front stretch on how narrow this place is. It just collects everybody with the speed that you carry here. It's insane. So we're getting ready to go back green. The pace car, we are working on the first caution of the night as the pace car gets ready to drop back down pit road. And there it goes. So Wesley Holland going to be leading us to the green flag, and the green flag is out, and he is gone as the 071 Brady Briggs falls into second. And honestly, that's probably the best thing the Ford can really do at the moment is by jumping that restart a little bit and trying to get out with that damage. That may be his best friend right now.
Yeah, 4-car strong no matter what, but like you said, getting that jump as he gets the free restart after a caution, doesn't have to wait for the flag to show. It's
Right.
out, it's going. He's going to have some trouble. Let's see how he progresses through the race. If that damage even bothers him.
We're watching the 83 now. Bob Eldred and Pat Russia. This is for the 9th position as they're side by side down the back stretch. And then you got the 49 there, Dustin Covington looking on as well. Do you expect the groove or the line to move up any on this runs if we do happen to get a longer green flag run on these tires?
Green flag run, long one, but with staging towards the end of the stage, depending on cautions fly where they do.
Right.
We could see some different grooves. I think a middle groove rather than a low or high.
Yeah, it's been so long since I drove the Xfinity car as well. I mean, it's been before the last build, and I know they changed a lot with these Xfinity cars and made it, I guess, less downforce now. In my personal opinion, from what guys have told me, even a Cup car is actually easier to drive than these Xfinity cars. Sometimes these Xfinity cars...
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't say that. That Cup car is...
Right. You spin the tires
tough.
pretty easy, yeah. You spin the tires pretty easy, especially wheel spin or anything like that in the center of the turn. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't drove them. I don't know. But they did make a pretty big adjustment on them for what we was told and what we seen. This is only the second race these guys have raced. The first actual, I don't want to say real race court track, but Daytona compared to this, a big difference. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much these cars actually change as we watch the 83 go around the 48. Bob Eldred back up to 11th now, passing Steven just now. So we'll jump back up. Who are you watching on track at the moment?
I'm watching Donald Stewart, the Ronald Klein. I believe Ronald Klein just passed Donald Stewart. It was a nice, easy-going battle.
It's actually a very nice paint scheme on the side of the 76 car, RTK Motorsports. Very nice, clean paint. And then, who was that? The 66, okay, a lap car, unfortunately. So now we're looking at Donald Stewart, the 78 Bass Pro Shops car. And he is currently running into 7th spot and actually on the back of the 017 of Devin Armstrong. This is actually a tight little group. Here comes the 76 now looking underneath the 78. Not going to happen. As we are already 20 laps into this first stage. Now, They do throw a manual caution at lap 35, and it is the top 6 in points from my understanding on who gets the bonus points. So we're watching right now the 78 and the 017. That is for a stage point. So that could be a big advantage come, whenever if it gets close to the chase. So that's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. We got about 15 or so laps left before the end of the stage. And these tires are probably starting to feel the effect now. I mean, we've been,
yeah, you can go throughout the field right now and watch front to back. Doesn't matter who you're watching, and you'll see the push out of 4. 4 is the obvious sign, and 2 is where you don't want to mess up at.
Yeah, I was talking about 2 during the pre-race. In your mind, what turn is the toughest? To me, I have trouble with turn 2. That's just me. Turn 4, I kind of got it, but I know a lot of people struggle in turn 4. Do you think turn 4 is a lot harder than turn 2 as well?
I think I can race side by side out of 2, and I cannot race side by side out of 4.
Right.
So yes, turn 4 is my tough part on the track.
You push up quite a bit in turn 4, and we're going to see that constantly tonight. We're going to see some guys most likely get into the wall, but I'm going to be honest, these guys are actually very impressive right now with me, because from practice over to the race, a lot of these guys have calmed down, and you can see it. Practice, we had a lot of wrecks, and I'm sure you was in here for the practice as well. We've seen a lot of cars wrecking and a lot of cars trying different things, of course, but we're seeing some really good racing right now pretty much all over the track.
Yeah, I was just watching our leader, Wes Holland, come up and scrape the wall out of 2 like we've been talking about. He's running that middle groove that I was saying, and then exit low out of 4. It's a great way to get those tires as 071 of Brady Briggs tracks him down.
Yeah, last time by for that lap, Wesley with the 24.611, Brady with the 24.555, and that is actually our fastest in the field right now. Last time by was Donald Stewart in the 78 car with the 552.
Yep, we're starting to see the slowing at the front. Wes is he got his big run as Brady almost slapped.
Yeah, I seen that.
But Wes got his big run, but Briggs is tracking him down right now with the clean car.
If Wesley somehow, with the damage he's got, he's going to probably get some of it fixed, I would guess. Would you consider that, I don't know, for him, I wouldn't say a victory or a win by any means, but he's got to be somewhat satisfied if he's able to hold on and somehow win the stage, even with that damage?
I think he can win the stage, if not second in the stage or whatnot, if Briggs tracks him down, but the key thing is where he ends up after this and how he deals with traffic.
Yeah, the traffic's huge.
If he has damage left over with traffic, it could be different for him with that no clean air.
Jumping back to the battle for 5th, Donald Stewart actually up to 6th now. He got around the 13 car. The 13 actually lost 2 spots as the 78 touches the wall a little bit, but we're watching the one for 5th with Devin Armstrong trying to hold on to that, and you got the 38 Bob Wells up in 4th. So this stage really coming down to some really good racing on who can pick up some bonus points at the end of this stage. We're about 7 laps or so out before the caution will be thrown. Now, I forgot how many actual in-race control admins these guys have. I think it's 2, I believe. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I believe right now. Okay. I mean, there's guys that can do stuff on the track as they're racing, but the admins that are sitting out, caution. Okay.
Let's see. I don't know what the caution is for. Let's see if we can see it. I believe the 003, maybe? No. I'm looking. Maybe the 00. I don't see no caution. See if I can see anything.
Yeah, I'm seeing some extra damage on the 00. Don't know if that was during the last
thinking too.
14 has some bad right front fender.
That's a weird one. I'm looking at my recent events to see if I see anything. Maybe David Johnson. It shows that he was off track at one point in the 00, so I believe that's who it was. Let's see if we can go back a little bit further on the replay to see if I can find it. I don't really see nothing. Maybe somebody got halfway spun or something would be my guess. And then they just caution came out. It's hard to tell with iRacing. Sometimes you just never know with these yellows. So looks like that could be the actual end of the stage, and if it is, Well, if it actually is, it looks like the 13 may actually win this stage. Because he's staying out along with the 76. Everybody else looks to be coming to pit road.
Yeah, right now following West Holland, we're gonna see some damage. This might benefit him, even if he chooses not to win the stage right here. The extra, I didn't see damage repair going.
I didn't either.
I think he went for tires.
Yeah, 15.3 second stop. Yeah, you are right. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was going to say
calling it stage. They may just be calling it stage right
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too that he didn't take more damage. Honestly, I think my personal preference, I would have took my damage and gave up stage points. But it could come down to, you never know, it could come down to this one race where he got stage points. So we'll have to wait and see. And actually, we got the 13. It looks like coming down as well, and Ronald Klein coming down.
Well, there is a lead in the lap, and if the 13 car felt that the 4 car was that strong, still, he wanted to take his point no matter where he got it.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. All right, guys, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here from Dover. Right after this, you're watching Loose Lugnuts Racing on Trackside Racing Network.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Back here at Dover International Speedway, about to go back green flag once again, and out front has been Wesley Holland, who's been the man to beat so far. 25 laps led out of the, well, about to be 26 out of the 34 that we have completed. Here we go. Pace car pulls in, and the 4, last time got an early jump, this time does the same, and it is gone. We'll see if the 071 of Brady Briggs can run him down. Battle's going to be for 3rd, and it looks like David Armstrong going to be able to take that pretty easy. The 9 is just going to give it to him. Here comes the 38, Bob Wells. Pat rushing to 052, and the 78 almost makes contact with Pat coming off turn 2, but they get it straightened out pretty quick and get single file. We was talking underneath the break a few moments ago, and very impressed with how these guys have ran. And I think a lot of these guys kind of see that it's early. There's not a whole lot right now. Everybody wants to make the finish at least. That's the only way you're going to win. So, in your mind, when is the best time to start trying to work your way up through the field if you're one of these guys a little bit further back?
Oh, I mean, even if we're looking back towards outside the top 10, you really got to start making moves, depending on, like I said, cautions and how your car is. Maybe take 2 tires on that.
That's true.
Stop, but that could throw your car out of whack and fix setup.
We're looking at Dustin Lee. He was actually your pole sitter for the night at 051. He's running back in the 12th spot, even with that damage. I'm going to be honest, I'm very surprised that this damage ain't affecting some of these cars. We see the 051 running, or Dustin running in 12th. Even with our leader, Wesley, even with that little bit of damage, as we actually got possibly a pass for the lead. Brady working on the back of him. But even with the damage, not affecting the car as much as what I thought it would.
Yeah, color me curious on the damage model for this one, because they should be a little bit slower. I mean, Dustin Lee obviously has way more damage than Wes Holland does, but
yeah. You was here for the truck race Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
How was the truck race compared to these? I know the trucks, they actually had to tighten up the truck in the latest build. Compared to what you're seeing now in the truck race, in your mind, is there, how was the race in that not compared to that so far?
I'd say we're on par, but
right.
I think we had about the same amount of trucks started, about around 25 trucks started,
right.
And but we had a lot of early cautions and a lot of late cautions, so we may want to look for that too. As we get towards the end, people get anxious, making moves they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's why I was interested about, the question I just asked you about when do you want to start moving. And, track position seems like it's a big key here. That's the only way especially with the stage racing. I mean, our next stage I think is going to come around like 60 or 65 or 70, 65 or 70. Man, it's just, I don't know. Track position seems like it's going to be very big. And pit stops, I think, during that next pit stop could be huge for a lot of these guys. You don't really want to make no mistake on pit road. And we've seen lately, I don't know what it is, but lately on iRacing, from what I've noticed, I've seen a lot of guys miss the pit road lately. I don't know if it's just with the new animation of the pit crews, guys are just misjudging pit, or what it is. But, yeah, that's something to definitely be thinking about.
I'll pull your attention off to Mark Jackson with heavy front-end damage. He was my dark horse pick. He won the truck race in a late stage move Thursday. So he's my dark horse for the night, but he has completely ruined that front end.
He actually started 19th place, too. Wow. That's a good-looking paint scheme, besides the damage on the front end. But, yeah, possibility that car could get hot with that much damage on the front, you think?
Oh, yeah, if he tucks in behind someone, gets into that, constant nose and tail battle, we got smoke.
78? Is that who it was? That's what it looked like.
78.
No caution.
Not Donald Stewart. Yeah, that was Donald Stewart, and I think
somebody else was in that. I can't believe a caution didn't come out.
Bob Eldred.
Wow, that's some big names. Here's a replay. There you go. And the 83 gets some of it as well. Bob Eldridge, yep, like you mentioned. Dang. That's tough break. He was running good, too. Running really well.
Yeah, you mentioned Donald Stewart yourself, and hey, consistent driver, always a chance to win.
That's Dover.
I didn't see it myself. Yeah, that's Dover. Getting into those corners, if you got a nose under someone, you might as well just lift up.
That's so tough. It kind of reminds me like a bigger Bristol, I guess, but you run the lower line with the concrete track and stuff like that, but things just happen so fast. Alright, so we're watching still the battle for the top spot right now with Brady Briggs, Wesley Holland. Wesley's doing a good job. It looks like Brady is a little bit faster. He was last time by about a 10th. We'll see. Brady's being real patient right now, which is very smart, I think. Not rushing anything. I've watched Brady now. I don't know how long I've actually known him, but I've watched him quite a few races in the past broadcast I've done. Always a very talented driver, very clean driver, tries to race everybody very fair. But some of the other guys, somebody I'm watching, I'm keeping my eye on is a 017. He's starting to really make some ground up. He's back in third place. He was 3/10 faster than our second place guy last time by.
Yeah, watching the 017 in practice, he could pull out a couple laps that were faster than anyone else. He was one of the fastest guys during our free practice session. But pulling the note, the guy that stayed out during that caution, Brian Tribble in the 13 car, he's way back there.
Yeah, he's falling back quite a bit. What? 21st? Wow. Yeah, way back there. That's surprising.
Strategy?
Yeah, it's got to be. Man, I don't know. He hasn't. I don't know where he restarted. I'm guessing probably dead last. I would guess. Maybe 24th, I believe, because there's 24 drivers right now on the lead lap. So he's up. He just made a pass for 20th on Alan Matting. But yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm guessing strategy as well. And it's 017 blinked there for a minute. He's good though. And looking at your top five, everybody's single file right now. Almost everybody is single file besides back here. This is a 021 of Garrett Potts and James O'Brown. And these guys are in a whole mess. Right, yeah, a whole mess of cars.
Thick race.
Low
lines where you gotta be.
Bob he's back up there.
A lot of the track there.
Yeah, he's back up there too, even after almost spinning out. He's back up through there, up the field now, 12th place. Oh, he gets the wall pretty hard, and there we go.
Here we go around.
That was the 11.
Bob Eldridge. Yep.
And Bob Eldridge, wow, that 11 took a hard hit. See, that
killed the motor.
That's what we seen in practice, but there was more cars, and it was just a whole mess. So here's your replay. Coming through turn number 1 and 2. I think the 83 actually got up into the outside wall. He was close to last time out of 4. You called it out?
He did.
And there you go. That was a hard hit for that 11.
He used a lot of the track, and I think he was being a little bit aggressive trying to get into those corners, or coming out of the corners at least. So let's see how the pitting goes here and see who takes damage off. I don't think the Ford needs to take it off if he's this strong.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe take just a little bit, but try to make sure you hold that top spot. I mean, I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, if damage is not affected unless you're behind someone, the king of damage right now, number 4 car, you don't need to clear it.
Also sees that the 13 stayed out of Tribble. So we'll see how that plays out.
Maybe a pit mess, but he's already got his lap left, so there goes the point.
Huh.
Maybe he's was hoping more people would stay out with him.
That's a possibility as well. So there's your race off pit road. And you can see the 51 sitting there as well. Wesley Holland does beat the 071 gave up a spot. Devin Armstrong jumps up and takes the spot away from Brady. Brian Bizzle is in 5th. Bob Wells 6th. Pat Russia is in 7th. So let's jump up and see what the 13 does here. This is interesting. Because, I mean, I don't know how much he's been using his tires, but he's coming back down pit road now, so never mind. That's interesting for him to... I think maybe it's just strategy. Maybe don't want to get caught up in anything. I don't know. It's interesting to see, though. So Wesley Holland going to be up on the front row as we'll take another quick commercial break, and we will be right back right after this as we get ready to go green here in about 2 laps. Welcome back to Dover. We are 55 laps in, and we are only about 10 laps or so away before the end of Stage 2. We've only had just a few cautions so far, knock on wood. 3 cautions so far for 10 laps, and 71 laps still to go. 3 lead changes. But it's all been Wesley Holland up front. He's led 47 laps. The lead changes, of course, was the 051 of... I forgot his name off the top of my head again.
051 is of Dustin Lee, yeah.
Our pole sitter. Dustin Lee, Wesley Holland, and then, of course, the 13 of Tribble actually led a lap. So there's your lead changes as the pace car does get ready to drop in pit road here in just a moment. Devin Armstrong picked up a spot on that pit stop. You see him blinking just a little bit. Should balance out, I would guess. As pace car pulls in, and watch for that Ford to get an early restart like he's been. There he goes. That was going to be for second place. Devin Armstrong, Brady Briggs. Brady actually had a little bit better restart, I think, where he kind of knew where the Ford has been going because he's been starting on the outside of Wesley quite a bit, or 2 times so far. But Devin doing a really good job on holding that outside line. We got cars looking underneath back a little bit further, but we'll stay with one for second. Brady using a low line. Looks like he's going to try to slide up in front of the 017, and he does take the second spot away. We go high above into the blimp cam. You can see where the cars are at on track.
Yeah, looking here at the number 9 car, steady is same with Bob Wells, Dustin Covington, steady right there, and my dark horse continues to move up.
Yeah, and honestly, even Bob Wells, he's been hanging around that area quite a bit.
Bob Wells making a move right now.
Here comes 049. Oh, he
49.
forced that.
Whoa, forced it.
Yeah, he really forced that low.
Up, sideways on the back.
Somebody's reckoned. I don't know who that is. Don't know if caution's going to come out, but the 83 isn't Bob. Bob Eldred gets hit hard. Caution should come out from this wreck. And I don't know if it's going to or not. Robert Mathis went around. He is on the apron. He's facing the wrong way, trying to turn it back around into grass. And unfortunately for the 14 of Robert Mathis, the green flag going to stay out. And let's see if we can get a replay of this. This actually happened, I think, coming out of 2 is where it started.
Yes, sir.
So here you go. Robert Matheson at 14. He was actually running pretty well. And the 76 may have actually got the back bumper just a tad. And into the wall the 14 went. These guys stack up behind him. And ultimately, the 14 just moves it up to the wall and comes down and gets Bob, which is not the greatest feeling for Bob. He was actually having a really good car. Alright, so we're back live once again, not from the replay. Still up front, Wesley Holland leading the way. And I think
49 just stuck his nose up under the 38. 38's going to power out the corner.
Man.
They touch fenders.
How patient would you be right now if you're the 38?
I'd be moving up. I'd be more patient with him.
Right.
He's going to lose a ton of spots.
Yeah.
He's going to go all the way back behind.
Was that Garrett? I believe.
Garrett Potts or something like that.
Yeah, Garrett Potts, which is nice. We'll see if the 38 can get to the bottom here. He does have an opening. Pat Rusher going to stick his nose there. That opening closed really fast. And now Pat trying to hold on to the 8th spot as the 021. Garrett Potts takes away the 8th position.
I believe our 38 of Bob Wells is suffering from running the car too hard early on in stages, or maybe he's not running it hard at all, trying to.
It's a possibility.
Save.
Could have burnt tires up or anything. We never really know. I know they're doing anything.
He did have that contact with 49.
That's true.
I can't see his left front right now, so
that's true.
He dug in.
See if I can get a better shot of his left front. His left don't look too bad. It's actually, I don't see no damage at all on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's
49 showed some damage on the right rear, so maybe it's 38. Oh, 49.
Yeah, he's plowed the wall.
I believe that's the end of our stage here.
Yep, you are correct. And Wesley Holland. So Mark Jackson actually gets points out of that in the 3 car. Not bad.
You know what?
You talked about him?
Yeah, Mark Jackson constant competitor since started racing full time here at Loose Lugnuts. He, like I said, won the Thursday truck race, so he knows what he's doing. Maybe he has his own strategy, but from what we saw of damage doesn't really count for anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we've seen, quite a few people at damage and still being able to run really well. And honestly, I thought the biggest thing would be just overheating issues with the front of that car, but, nothing at all. Maybe took some downforce off or something, but he's done a good job, so he will get a stage point for that. And pit road's going to be open this time as we wait to see who. I'm guessing everybody would come down pit road.
Yeah, free caution flag. I imagine everyone will come down. Now, this isn't the one you should gamble on. You should gamble on the next to last or the last.
Yeah, because we definitely have to pit one more time, correct?
Oh yeah, you're going to have to pit per stage, almost guaranteed, based on the fuel setup they probably have. But 3-car with one of the last pit stop stalls, so
that's big.
It may benefit him, or it may kill him on this pit stop.
Yeah, that's true. Really, the best pit stop I have is that very first one, the 051, of course, got it. But with the damage, and actually Brady Briggs just missed his pit stall. So he had to back up, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. It wasn't much, but it may lose a spot or so. We'll have to wait and see the race off. By the way, Dustin Lee still out on track in the 051, probably leading a lap. Brady Briggs will lose a ton of spots, actually. I take it back. He actually came out in 4th from what I'm seeing, so he didn't lose much at all. He lost one
it's
spot.
Still an outside starting spot, man.
Yeah, it is. At Dover.
So, at Dover. Not the cleanest corner to get out of. But new tires, we could see. The guys really need to buckle down because they're having a hell of a race right now.
They are. They're doing a really good job.
They just need to find this constant groove, what they have, and continue it. Try not to make so many moves. Guy we mentioned earlier, Bob Wells, still 6th place. I don't know how. He lost all the spots.
Yeah. Some of these guys, we've seen so many cars with damage, and it's just not doing half as much as what I thought that we thought it would do. And honestly, I don't know why. It's just something, I guess, it just happens. I don't really know. It's just weird to me that we haven't seen a lot of, with these damaged race cars, we haven't seen much fall off from them.
With iRacing, we have the fast repair.
That's true.
So they're saving it, obviously.
Yeah.
The 051, number 4, they're obviously saving. I've seen a couple guys use them. Maybe they don't feel as confident, and they want to get up to the front as quick as they can, no matter what, with a clean car.
And that's a gamble you got to take. Everybody likes using them certain times. I like the idea of waiting as well, especially if you're the 4 car. Like, he has no reason not to use his. He's got a great reason not to use his, should I say? I'm
sure he's getting damage repaired, but half a second each time. But
I agree.
What 2 free cautions and a caution so far? 3. He's gotten at least 2 seconds repaired. It's gonna help him.
Guys, to let you all know about the next race that these guys race, it is on January the 20th at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and that's going to be a good one. These cars very, very fast at Atlanta. Then we head to Kansas to round off the month of January. Kansas, one of my favorite tracks on iRacing. I love that place.
Kansas, great track.
It is. I love that place. You could kill your tires so quick, but it's so fun to run up against the wall.
Up against the wall. That's what I was going to say.
It's so fun.
It's a spot to be at Kansas. Next week at Atlanta, it's another turn 4 track. Even though it's fast, turn 4 when you kill your tires.
Yep. Yeah, that car goes away quick at Atlanta.
2-3 laps at Atlanta.
You'll have seconds drop off your top time. That's going to be fun, especially if we got this many guys that show up, which, honestly, I don't see why we wouldn't. So far, some great racing tonight, and honestly, we had a good race last week, but that's Daytona. You just never know what Daytona. You have more closer races than anything, but we've seen some great racing for Dover. This has been a really fun race to broadcast. Good all around so far for these guys.
Yeah, of course you're going to have your incidents. It's Dover. But keep in mind, we still got the same guys up front as we go green here.
Yeah, that 9. What a heck of a restart by Brian Bizzle. Good Lord. He goes from, what position was that? 3rd up to 2nd? And I was able to clear 2 cars.
Inside. Benefits of starting inside at Dover with fresh tires.
Let me ask you a question, because this has been on my mind since we dropped the green flag. Wheel spin. That happens quite a bit here. Possibly we could see that?
On the outside, yeah.
Right.
If you're
That's
hanging
something big.
up on the outside.
Watching the 3 of Mark Jackson right now running behind that 49. Let's hop on board with Mark. Sorry, that is what the Dusty covered. Now we're around with Mark Jackson. You're picked to be an under or sleeper pick, and honestly, he's doing a great job. Looks like he's actually got, I don't know how bad his nose is, but his nose don't look terrible in the car. Oh man, he just got
tagged.
He saved that.
What a
Holy
recovery.
cow.
He's gonna lose some spots. Maybe. And 07 gave it back to him.
How
My
about
God,
that?
What a recovery.
That was great save by Mark Jackson in the 3 car. I thought he was done. With that kind of speed, I was like, yep.
071, obviously the faster car. We've seen him run second all night, so he's kind of pissed about that restart he got. So he may be being a little bit over-aggressive. I wouldn't say over-aggressive, but, you know, faster than the 3 car.
Yeah, watching him right now, honestly, looking at Mark Jackson compared to all these other guys, Mark right now, one of the fastest cars, 23.828 that last lap, the fastest car on track. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, going sideways, going fast. Mark Jackson's doing it all tonight, starting from the back.
It's a great paint scheme on that car, too. I don't think many people run, I don't think I've ever seen that paint on iRacing, so I don't think it's on Trading Paints. He probably got it painted through Overtop Designs. For you guys that don't know, they do sponsor John Hendrick, a great painter. I paint myself. I'm going to be honest, I like bragging on my paints, but his paints are so good at spot on. So if you all check him out on Facebook, Overtop Designs, does a really good job. So sitting here right now, it looks like the 49 of Dustin Covington's trying to work on the 017 of Devon Armstrong.
Yeah, he's got a little ways to go there, but I think he's running that low line, which is going to kill his tires.
Yeah.
You see the 017 and the 9 car with that middle groove and then the late low exit. That's the way to run it to save those tires. So I think the 49 is going to fall back some.
I agree. That low line is just killing that right front. And I mean, you probably, I don't know, maybe you can explain this a little bit more. I'm guessing you may save tires a little bit better on concrete tracks compared to tracks like that have asphalt, I would guess.
Simulation wise, I couldn't tell you.
Right.
But obviously, concrete, you can make it a flatter surface
Right.
than you could a straight tar asphalt. So
Yeah, I went to, I live in Bristol, and, you know, Bristol's concrete as well. I actually went onto the track this off-season now. We was on the track not too long ago. And honestly, Bristol is very smooth, of course, and that's the same kind of surfaces here. But there's actually, Bristol's getting a little old itself. You start to see some cracks and stuff like that. And Dover, I don't know how the track was when they scanned it, but there's quite a few bumps here. And I'm sure where's the front.
Look at this bump going into turn 1.
Brady got the wall.
Brady got the wall?
Yep. He's could fall back. But right there was that bump that she was talking about.
Yeah, going into 1, coming towards the middle of 2, there's a bump straight in the middle. And if you're running, I wouldn't say this car's too much affected, depending on, you know, your weight.
Right.
But if you're running like a super light model or something,
I bet it plows it. Yeah.
It will jerk it around.
Love watching them cars race, by the way. So Brady is able to hold on to his spot over Garrett Potts. Oh, actually got the wall. Yeah. He get the wall again?
Yeah, he hit the wall coming out of 2, but he was side by side. But before that, I think I saw a little bit of tire smoke.
Oof.
Like he's really pushing it.
Right.
I mean, he had the terrible. He was the one on the topside with a restart, or was that
Right,
the
yeah.
017?
Yeah, it was the 071 when he restarted fourth.
Well, I think he's a little bit perturbed with himself or the 4 car, and he's just trying too hard or something. And I saw tire smoke.
There's the 017 now, and he's trying to run down his leader. Wesley Holland's checked out, 1.2 seconds ahead right now of this entire group of guys. And honestly, I don't know, but Brian Bizzle, I'm very impressed with, man. Like, he got a great restart. He started 6th place, so it's no surprise to see him inside the top 5, but very cool that restart he did, and actually able to hold it up there. But here comes Mark Jackson now getting a run underneath him. Wow, what a
like
run.
I said, Mark Jackson run good. Bizzell has the line right now, so it's going to be some work for Mark to get around him.
How many laps did Jackson lead that Thursday?
To tell you the truth, I think he led the final lap.
Oh, okay.
Or the final 3 laps, because there was a caution that brought out up to the checkered. So
Okay.
there was a fuel strategy out front with Bob Wells in the 38, and then Bob Wells had no tires, and Mark Jackson had all the tires. And
Now, I'm not sure if this is scheduled or not, but I just seen the 76 exit pit road of Ronald Klein. Now, it is showing 3 laps down because green flag, but he did exit pit road. We've only been 18 laps, or now 19 laps under this run.
We could have missed something. He is showing some heavy right front damage as he goes up and hits the 49 there. 49 is struggling, like I said, with those tires that are going to happen.
You are, yeah, he's got a lot of right front damage. I did not notice that. There's your difference between old tires and new tires.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the 76 has to realize he's laps down. Ooh, wow. Ooh, model damage. Yeah, model damage from 49. I didn't see no contact, but you know, obviously iRacing showed some model damage.
Right. Here comes the 071 now. Brady Briggs looking underneath Dustin. Dustin really, I think you mentioned it a minute ago, really burning them tires off when he ran out low line. He's really struggling right now with that car.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back up to the front and we're watching someone on old tires with the same amount, the 4 car of Wesley Holland is
something happened to
in
him?
that middle line. It's old tires with the damage, in my opinion, while that 017 caution comes out.
Trying to see. Brady Briggs around on the front stretch. And he hit pretty hard, I believe. So we will get a replay.
Some extra left front damage there.
21 actually got into the wall and then slowed down. 21 got in the back of him, and around he went into the inside wall. Luckily, it did not blow up. Oh, he backed up a little bit. That was scary. So he'll probably be taking that fast repair. And honestly, man, this race has gone by fast. Like,
the guys are clicking out the laps.
Yeah.
So when we have a caution flag, it's usually towards the end of the stage.
Right.
So they're just probably counting the stage and whatnot, and just going on to the next one.
So that's great run so far by Wesley Holland as he comes down pit road, 35 miles per hour. Very easy to speed here. That's the last thing you want to worry about if you're one of these leaders.
Wes Holland's the king of speeding at the late stage. He always messes himself up. I'll get on him all the time. Speed West. But
and this place is very known for speeding on pit road. So,
Mark Jackson scored 3rd coming into the pit stalls, so we'll see how he gets out of this.
It's gonna be interesting to see that pit stop. Let's pop open our pit stop and we'll check to see who has the fastest pit stop so far. As the 51's in his pit box, here comes 071. And down and away, it looks like Wesley Holland did win the race off. No,
he won the race?
He did, yep.
Wes Holland won.
Yep,
wow.
he did
that
win it.
was by a nose. And look at Wes's car, though.
He said he used it. Yep, he used it. And honestly, I think it's the right time to take it. With them early jumps that he's getting and stuff like that's really helping him. Let you know, Mark Jackson, 14.7 on that pit stop. Brian Bizzle, I'm sorry, 13.8 on his. Everybody else pretty much 14s.
They'll file out here shortly. and we'll see a full picture of what happened during that pit stall. But Brian Tribble, the guy that took the early point early in the race, is back in the top 10 on my board.
Yeah, he's back up to 9th place. And honestly, yeah, 8th place now. I forgot because somebody just came down pit road, so he is up to 8th place now.
You know, wow. Now's the time to manually fix your damage. I wasn't watching Wes. He may have took a quick repair, so.
Somebody else that is coming back up through the field that did use their quick repair was the 051 of Dustin Lee, or pole sitter, now back up to 9th place.
And a guy involved in a caution earlier, the 14 of Robert Mattis.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sitting there. Bob Wells, we got to see which line he's going to run. Brian Mazzell just having a heck of a time sitting behind Wes. However, he is on the outside this time.
These restarts are going to be so important on this one. This honestly could be our last restart. The way they've been racing, we just don't know. It's going to be a fun one to watch on this restart. Especially a possibility of wheel spin. We talked about it a few minutes ago. And you just never know. It could happen.
Whoever's starting on the outside, which is Brian Mazzell, obviously, needs to stay with Wes. Wow. Wes is tricky. I learned him a year ago, well, at least up to a year ago, on how to somewhat time the start. But you got such an advantage on a free restart. You do. So.
Yeah, because some leagues you got to go on green certain times. Some leagues do that, some leagues don't. I like the idea of being able to go when you want. As soon as pace car drops, I think, or as soon as it hits pit road, I like that. And I'm going to be honest, somebody that might have an advantage here, could actually jump up to second, is that 3 car. He's starting on the inside row in 3rd place, so he may be able to take second depending on what happens with that 9 car. We see Brian do it, so.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad option for Brian Mazzell to fake jump this restart to just shoot Wes off.
True that. That's true. Yeah, possibly get him anticipating the restart or something like that, and think about it.
Just feign anticipation on the outside there. Have Wes just think you're going to slow up to catch back down.
I see what you're saying. That's a very good idea. Actually, I never even thought about that. Yeah, because Wes is getting such a big, jump on his restarts. It's not making it really close until later in the run. Pace car pulls off. We're going to find out as green flag is out. And actually,
restart. 3 car follows.
Yep. And here comes Mark Jackson for 2nd place. He has worked his way up through the field quite a bit. 19th he started, and now he takes 2nd away. Now, Dustin is up to 4th, and we know he used that low line pretty well last time. Don't look like he's driving straight back down there this time. So we'll see if the 49 can work his way back up there.
Yeah, 49 is going to have to watch the cars in front of him if he wants to be successful, because he used that bottom way too much.
Right.
And it looks like the 38 is diving the bottom too. Maybe
that's Bob Wells, yeah.
Yeah, Bob Wells doesn't feel like he has the fastest car, but behind Bob Wells is a Stampede.
Yeah, you got the 78, who I think was in a wreck earlier. And yeah, he was in a wreck, and the caution didn't come out. And then you got the 13, Dustin Lee there, a pole sitter. There's so many good cars in that little group that honestly, if they get up towards the front, they would have a chance.
003 stuck his nose on the inside of the 00 right there for the pass. That was Anthony Postone. 00 just now stuck on the outside.
Trent Drum now looking to try to take that spot away from that 00 of David Johnson, and not going to be able to happen to 48 now. Looking to the, never mind, he backs out of that as well. Mark Jackson is actually hanging with Wesley. And here he comes. He had a run.
Yep, Wes shuts the door coming out before there.
Interesting.
If he can hang with Wes, it may slow Wes down. You got the Covington clan back there with Brian Mazzell, Dustin Covington, sitting nice and pretty with pretty cars. May not be the fastest guys as the 49 jumps
to the inside. And trying to take that away, and it looks like he will take away 3rd spot. So a great pass by Dustin Covington as he moves up inside the top 3.
Now, was that tire smoke from the 49, or was that tire smoke
I'm going to guess it's from the
9.
49. I would guess it's from the 49. The way we've been seeing him race the last couple laps, I would guess it's from him. So let's jump back. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, kind of a sneaky top 5 right now.
It is.
The 028.
Oh, I didn't even know he was even up there.
Yeah.
Wow. He did. He's worked his way inside the top 5. And honestly, he had to start 15th, so he's done a really good job on working his way up. Very impressive. Now, Bob Wells has some pressure on him. Somebody's in a wall.
Yep, we're going to have a caution.
Anthony Poston goes around, and the car number is, I can't even tell, 003.
003.
Yep. That was a hard hit. So let's see what happened. Coming out of turn 2. There was a little contact between him and 11, and the 11 bounced off the wall.
Yeah, not a lot of room sometimes when you're making some nose defender contact. Hopefully that 003 has a quick repair left, because he was showing a little bit of promise.
Oh, he just wrecked. Okay.
No, well, I'll save that comment for later.
I don't know what to say about that one. That's not good.
Take you a little bit.
Too hard, yeah. I feel bad for the 14 on that one.
Yeah, at 14 we just
mind
made
his
it for the
business.
restart.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Mathis was just minding his business, and now, unfortunately,
more damage to repair.
Yeah, gonna have damage to repair, yeah.
I believe the 003 was given an EOL. You know, they may hand out EOLs after each incident, but he was given an EOL post that little incident we saw.
So they are on pit road. This is a big pit stop for some of these guys, and I think we may see some 2-tire stops. The 4 took 2 tires. Dustin Lee took 2 tires. Bob Wells took 2 tires. A bunch of 2-tire stops. And Devin Armstrong stayed out.
Take 4. Who's our first 4? Who's our first 4?
First 4 is Mark Jackson.
Okay, that might be the one to watch right there.
Yep, that's going to be very
I hate to
interesting.
say Mark Jackson again, but
you're right.
Early.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's the first one on 4 tires, and he is going to be starting on the inside in 5th place, unless Devin comes down pit road, which I don't think is going to happen, and Alan Matting may come down pit road, which I don't think will happen. Actually, the 317 does come down pit road. So it's going to move Mark Jackson up to the inside or outside row. I do believe. Very interesting calls. And you mentioned earlier that on pit stops, you never know what it's going to do to your car. I like the idea of trying too early, just to see what it's going to do, and you'll know if it's going to work. Now they didn't go a ton of laps. Well, actually, I take it back. They went 12 laps, so yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that might be why the 2-tire call, but I think with a lighter fuel load, if they are running a lighter fuel load, 2 tires may be a bad idea.
Right, that back end can come around really easy. I hate questioning Wesley though.
The damage thing, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, I hate questioning Wesley. So I don't really know. Bob Wells, I hate questioning all of them. They've done really well, or they've done great so far tonight. So.
Now, the 17 car, our actual lead lap?
He is on the lead lap. The 017, yes. He is the leader at the moment.
Weird.
Yeah,
his pit strategy there?
He did not pit.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's got 12 tires on the laps.
Hoping for a quick caution would be my strategy for those 17.
Yeah, with these 2 tires, guys, and honestly, they wasn't the only one that took 2 tires. Tribble took 2 tires, from what I'm seeing. Pat Russian is 052s back in 15, took 2 tires. So, he may have the right strategy because some guys took 2, some guys didn't. So, we'll find out because we're about to go back green, but...
Yeah, we could see different speeds on the restart, and that could...
Wheel spin now.
017, benefit to 017 with a quick caution, because he could just sit out there the entire time.
He's going to have a couple quick cautions, I feel like. Well, we're still, we still got a few laps left. We're on 103 now of 125. I mean, that's still, You know, that's still at least 3 cautions to finish the race if we have 3 straight cautions. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It's possible, but this is the first time we've seen the 4 car on the outside.
Exactly. We don't know what he can do yet.
So he started inside for the start of the race. This is the first time on the outside. Let's see how.
And he'll be able to dictate the restart, which is great.
017.
Yeah.
Got the lead here.
Now, the 4 is backing up, kind of like what you mentioned a minute ago. He backed up a little bit.
It from him.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So the pace car comes in. The green flag is out. Wow,
Still leader on the restart, but the second place of Wes Holland stood strong right there.
I actually seen Mark Jackson scrape the wall on that restart a little bit coming out of turn 4. Looks like he's going to be okay. Here comes Mark Jackson now working on the back of Wesley Holland. Now these guys are beating a little bit further behind him. We'll keep an eye on that as well. 2 Tires is actually working right now. So 017 still leading this race for the time being. As the 4 underneath him a little bit. That's very close. Wesley not going to be able to get there just yet. As we got cars sliding behind them. I don't think a caution will come out. Looks like they saved it.
It's about 4 wide going into turn 3 there in the back.
Boy, that's always safe to do it, Dover.
Pat Russia, Garrett Potts, Mountain Dew car. Oh, Craig Covington, some terrible damage in that number 96.
Yeah, you are correct. So back up front for the lead. Here comes Wesley Holland underneath the 017 of Devin Armstrong. And watch out for that 3 of Mark Jackson. That was a great move. Wesley actually making these tires pay off right now. Lap time's not looking bad at all. Actually, last time by, almost his best lap at 23.80 that time.
Yeah.
A really
Mark
good lap.
Mark Jackson's going to need a caution if he can't get by the 017 quick here. He needs to stay with West. If West checks out, West checks out for good.
Yeah, he's out almost a half a second in front of these guys. And the longer this 3 stays behind this 017, it's just going to tighten them up and make that 3 or the 4 car just pull out. He wants to see them side by side or doing what they're doing right now.
I've been seeing West. He's run the middle line right now, but that previous lap, he ran the low line all the way out through 1 and 2. So
to let you know, Mark Jackson actually went for the pass.
Front.
And caution comes out. And let's see who it was. Donald Stewart was involved.
James O. Brown of the 028 car.
And Donald Stewart just wrecked on the apron. And it looks like he did reset. Let's get a replay. Donald Stewart has disconnected, it looks like, as well in the 78 car. And let's see what happened to James Brown. Here we go. Coming out of turn 4. Oh, just hit the wall too hard. Oof.
Yeah, just jumped it out of turn 4.
Wow, there were a bunch of cars that actually scraped through him. Unfortunately, he was actually having a good run earlier in this race, but unfortunately, got too much of the wall. Well, now this makes things a little bit more interesting. Mark Jackson going to be starting on the inside as they come back down pit road. Now that's
I just watched the replay of the 78 there of Donald Stewart. He just got collected when the 028 backed out onto the track there on the front stretch. And he just said he had enough.
Well, to let you know, so far we do have cars staying out. Brian Bizzle stays out. Pat Russia stays out. And a couple other cars are staying out as well. We'll get their names in just a moment once the timing catches up for me. Oh, the 4 missed his pit box. He had to back up.
All that could be. Here comes the 49 car. 40.
Yeah, he's going to beat him out.
Wow. What?
You mentioned, yeah, he's going to lose a lot of spots on pit road. You mentioned
this is where it's going to get dangerous for Wes. This is where he gets frustrated sometimes. And 3 cars right there with him, so I'm not really sure. We might have had some 2-tire stops.
Yeah, let's see. Dustin Covington, 2 tires. Brady Briggs, possibly, yeah, 2 tires, definitely. 10.8 seconds. Brandon Dorsett, 2 tires. Devin Armstrong, 4. Wesley Holland, 4. And then Mark Jackson, 4. Man, so only 2 cars stayed out. That was Brian Bizzle and the 052 of Pat Russia. So that's interesting.
It could be a good play. I mean, cautions breed cautions. So
that does. That is true.
I don't. Let's see what the timing is. West scored 3rd, or
he is scored in 7th.
All right. So whoever our 3rd place car
Dustin
is,
Covington.
Dustin Covington.
Yep. And he's got 2 tires.
All right. Bizzell was stronger than Covington.
He was
during the race.
Yep.
But 49 got some tires. So
yep. And we see what he does with tires.
Yeah. I mean, burn them till you get to the front. If West is stuck back in traffic, burn them.
You got to take advantage of that now. Like, you have to get up front now. And honestly, it kind of goes what you mentioned about the truck race. You said you've seen some cautions late in the race, and it's kind of playing that, in that way as well. So somebody I'm looking at, besides the 49, you got Brady Briggs, is this 11 car, Brandon Dorsett. Now, I don't know a ton about Brandon. The 11.
Yeah, Brandon Dorsett's what I would call part of the Covington clan there, with Dustin, Brian Bizzell, Craig, the whole Covington clan. But Dorsett, strong running so far tonight. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage here and there, but
yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Let's see what he can do, stick in the top 5 on this restart.
He's done a great job on putting himself in a position that possibly can come out of here with a solid top 5 finish. Never know, possibly a win. Just never know. It's going to be interesting on this restart, especially with the older tires on that inside and outside. We've mentioned wheel spin a couple of times. Late afternoon, I don't know if that makes a difference as far as tire spin or anything like that. So
I think it's a little bit more sticky out there right now than it would be for a night race.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure you can simulate the night race here at Dover.
Yeah. I wish you could. That'd be nice.
But our strongest cars before that caution, number 4, the number 3 car, 7th and 8th right now. So
the guy that's been up front most of the time is not up there.
Yeah, 125 lap race if I'm correct.
Yeah.
It's going to leave us around 11 to 10 to go.
Yeah, we're coming to lap 1. We're going to be green on lap 114.
All right, so if we get a quick caution, it's still fair game. But if we stretch out, it's who gets to the front first. Yeah,
you have to be, if we get a caution after lap 120, it's over. Pace car pulls in. Green flag is out for the 9, and that outside line checked up slightly on the outside. They stacked up a little bit, so that's going to allow the 49 to get all the way up to the 2nd place. Here comes that 11 as well. The 4, good Lord. Wesley Holland.
4 tires. You can run that outside with people with no tires.
What a move.
Big checkups on the back stretch.
Wesley Holland right now looking to the outside on the 11 of Brandon Dorsett, trying to make that high line work. We'll see what kind of run he can get off turn 4. Now,
wreck on the back stretch.
Caution comes out. Dustin, big wreck on the front stretch. Multiple cars. Possibly 10 cars. Mark Jackson involved. This is a multiple wreck. I mean, there was...
Who saved the quick repairs?
There was probably 10 cars involved in this one. Here we go.
If you got the replay, that'd be awesome because it started with 1.
There we go. The 051 gets into the back of the 13, and from there it's just everybody clogs up the track. We mentioned it earlier, this place has bigger wrecks than Daytona in my opinion, because nowhere to go for some of these guys. Oh, the 317 almost made it through it, and unfortunately did not. Let's see if we can ride on board and get a view from his angle. This would be fun. There's the smoke, and where there's smoke, there's crashing, and he almost makes it through it until this happens. Oh. Dang. So he's coming down pit road, and it looks like he's going to use his fast repair. I do believe he's got one. He does. So, Brian Bizzle, right now, you said that he could use a quick caution. Well, he got it. Now, can he stay up front and win this thing?
Yeah, 071 is our strong car from earlier in the race.
Right.
That has potential on the inside. If he's gonna have to push the inside line. He's gonna have to. So,
Yeah, I think
don't
Dustin
we're
right now
see
might be in a
anything.
little bit of trouble. We got somebody blown up on the backstretch as well. Not sure who that is. Somebody was on a backstretch smoking. Do not know. Oh, it is the 12 car of Trent Drum smoking on the backstretch, and I'm guessing he will definitely be pulling that car into pit road. There he goes.
I believe he just cracked the top 10 on the, after that last caution. So sad to see that him do that. Seems like he was switching gears coming out of the pits or something.
Oh, that's horrible. Not a good way to end your race, that's for sure.
Nah, I think I'd rather get in the
Yeah, just wreck
fisticuffs.
it. Yeah.
I'd rather get in a fight with someone for wrecking than blow my own
Yep,
motor.
yep. I've literally done that in the Mustang before. Just right, Walker's Glen, just downshift too early or something like that, and it just blows up. That was just a dumb driver mistake, but
However, I will push it again. 3 of the top 5 positions right now occupied by what I will call the Covington clan right there. We got Brian Bazell, Dustin Covington, and Brandon Dorsett. However, Wes Holland again starting on the outside. Brady Briggs starting P3 on the inside.
now I'm fairly certain Brady only did take 2 tires. He had 10.8 second stop. I'm like 95% sure that's not a 4-tire stop. So, yeah, our first car with 4 tires is back in 6th place and 7th place. Wesley Holland, Devin Armstrong. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about you, but I don't want to say Wesley's out because we could still have a caution early here. You just never know what's going to happen up front and still go back under green. But if this thing was to go green, he may be in a little bit of, I don't know, we're going to have 7 laps to go. It's going to be tough to make up that many spots. But he just got fresh tires, so I don't know.
I would say on these short runs, your 2-tire cars are the strongest.
Right. Yeah, because we've seen it earlier, too.
If we do the next 6 laps under green, we may see that 4 car with 4 tires, or any car with four tires, sneak up there.
Yeah, because, you know, he wants this thing, he wants to win it. I mean, he's been out front most of the race, and unfortunately, that little thing that happened on pit road, you said that he has some trouble sometimes on pit road. It comes to back to bite him on this race as well. But you never know, it's not over till it's over. So the pace lights are off. We're getting ready to go back green. We're going to have 7 laps to go once the green flag comes out.
Let's see how good of a jump we get here from Bazell. Is he going to use the pace car as a drop? I would mix it up here. I wouldn't do the same move twice. I'd back her down a little bit. Good pull. He's waiting. Right before the green, too. Big wreck on the backstretch. Big wreck on the backstretch.
The 021, the 017, the 4, and there was someone else, and caution comes out, and unfortunately, that's going to end Wesley Holland's night. One of our fastest guys all night has led 97 laps, going to come up short here tonight after a big wreck. I don't know who else was involved in that. I've seen another car that got turned as well. Here's our replay. I believe the 4 just bounced off the wall coming off turn 2, trying to possibly get a little bit too much out of it.
Yep, 021 looks like he just happened to do the same thing as the 4 car. But, yeah, Ford a little bit too strong coming off turn 2 with the 017 on the inside.
And you see that 021, he was fast as well earlier in this race. Fortunately for him, going to end his night as well. Pretty sure anyway. Or why did I show 021 first right now? That's weird. A lot of time I ain't caught up. So Brian Bizzle right now still out front. Now this is playing out in a way to his favor with all these cautions he's having. He did a little bit different restart that time. Pretty much waited till the green flag. I think we're going to only have, I think this could be a green-white checker, I believe.
It's a possibility, or we might have a little bit longer than that, but he needs to, I hate saying it, but he stacked up the field by not just, going out on the drop of the pace car. Stacking up the field is to the 9 cars advantage right now. Getting them guys fighting with each other rather than fighting with him.
Right. Now, did you say the 9 is teammates with the 49?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they're probably, communicating a little bit. Now, I don't know how you go about racing teammates, but I know on my team we usually tell each other, hey, I'm going to go green here. Now, it is time to win the race. You might not say much.
Yeah, that flies early on, but it's all
out now.
Sink ships at the end of a race.
Right, I agree.
That 49 car, if you tell him when you're going to go and he sticks side by side with you.
And with the 2 fresher tires, yeah, he's probably just going to drive around.
The person to really watch here, the people out of the middle of this little top 5 are the 071 and the 052.
Yeah, I agree. To let you know, the 2 cars that's in the top 5 with the most tire wear on their car is the 052. He's got 21 laps on his tires. And then Brian Bizzle, of course, got 21 laps on his tires. Then you got Dustin Covington, Brady Briggs, and Brendan Dorsett, all with 12.
Yeah, set. We need the 071 is going to have to stick to the back of that 9 on the restart.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
He's going to have to. It's the only way he's going to, because the 49, if he sees the gap, he's going to shut the door and race him himself, or get a teammate some room.
This is going to get fun. We got 4 laps to go. I think this is going to be a green-white checker. We should be cutting the lights off next time around. All in all, man, what do you thought of the race? It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, viewing the Thursday race kind of helped me call what obviously has happened. Some late cautions, but that guy's just racing hard.
Right.
That ain't people being dumb on the racetrack. That's racing hard at the end of a race, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, looking so far at the cautions, we've had 9 cautions, but if you look at the cautions, they haven't been, dumb mistakes or anything like that. It's just racing. It's all been, we've seen some things that's been like, I don't know why he did that. But all in all, I mean, it's been a very fantastic race. I mean, only 33 caution laps, not too bad at all, honestly, for Dover, because this place is tough.
Yeah, this is tough, and who would have thought we would have seen, I mean, the only one that was in the top 5 starts the race, I believe.
The 071, right?
071, and he's the only one still around. I mean, Pizzell just outside the top, but still, one guy remained, and who knew the 4 car was going to end up in a wreck and miss his pit stop?
Yeah, I agree. Well, you knew he'd miss on, you knew that he'd mess up on pit road. You called it, but
I know what happens with Wes. He gets a little bit frustrated with caution because he can stretch out. Obviously,
he's a good driver, though. I mean, you've seen it tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, that wreck that just happened to him. That's just him going for everything he can to try to make that spot. Because honestly, he had the fastest car out of everybody in front of him. That's got to be frustrating.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see what our current top 5 or whoever can sneak there with the 051 sitting in 7th place right now.
All right, so the next flag will end this race as we're going to have, actually this is just a 1-lap shootout. So it is not a green-white checker, it is a 1-lap shootout.
Start is key here, start is key.
Yeah, you're right about that 071. He's really going to have to be focused here on this restart. This could get ugly for a lot of guys. I don't think we've seen the last wreck, but I think we're going to see the winner here in just a moment as the pace car pulls in. And the green flag is out. And at 9 with a start, and that's a really good start. He may be able to hold on to this win. Here comes Brady Briggs for second.
I believe the 49's out front right now.
He is. You are correct. I don't know why I sit there and was looking at the replay.
No, the 49 just
the
stuck
49
it on the
just won it. Yep, he did. And it looks like he is going to be your winner. We'll get a replay of that finish again, guys. Sorry about that. I kind of had my replay up. There you go. And here's your look at your replay for the pass made by the 49 of Dustin Covington, who picks up win tonight. Coming out of turn 4, you'll see as he's getting ready to celebrate. And there was a wreck, by the way, that happened behind them. And here we go.
Overall, good race.
It was.
I was like you. I was still stuck in a
Replay. Yeah.
I'm like, a hell of a way to end it by myself.
I looked over at my Thomas screen. I was like, why is it so Dustin up front? So here you go. Here's the pass on the last lap. Dustin Covington coming through turns 3 and 4. On the outside, Brady Briggs drove it in as well. And Dustin Covington's going to walk out of here your winner tonight. And a big win for him here at Dover.
Yep,
there you go.
Big wins are key early on in the season.
And we're going to talk to him. That locks his way into the chase, I believe. Hey, Dustin, you got me? Hey, Dustin, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, that was an interesting finish. It came down to 1 lap, or 2 laps, I guess, a green, white, checkered, and you was able to drive around the outside, which we haven't really seen nobody do. Talk us through that pass.
Oh, that last pit stop we took, I took 2 tires, and I know Brian didn't, and he's a teammate of mine, Covington Motorsports, and I knew we wouldn't run each other dirty, so I had to try it.
Let me ask you a question. We was talking about you earlier in this race about the middle ways, and you was getting really good runs on the bottom using the 4 tires, and you fell off a little bit. I don't know if it was running too hard or not, but we seen you make an adjustment. How tough was this place tonight to pass?
This place was really hard to pass, and you about couldn't do it without getting into somebody, so I tried to stay where I was at about the whole race, and it worked out for me.
Man, another win tonight. What's it mean to be able to go in and lock your way into the chase?
Oh, that's what I was working on, and now I ain't got to run as hard the rest of the races here.
Good job, buddy. Is there anybody want to give a shout-out to? That was a great finish by you, and congratulations on the win.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to the Loose Lugnuts, John Hedrick, Nisson, Over the Top Paints, and Covington Motorsports.
Good job, buddy, and we'll talk to you next week, and these guys better watch out because that's a good-looking car, by the way. So congratulations on a big win, and we'll talk to you next week.
I appreciate it. All our cars with Covington Motorsports, painted by my brother, Jason Covington. His power was out tonight and didn't get to make it, but maybe next week.
For sure, man. Good job, and we'll talk to you then.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Next up, let's bring in Brian Bizzle, who almost was able to get the win here tonight. That's got to be somewhat a little bit aggravating, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Brian, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Man, you started 6th. You almost was able to pull this thing out. You took a big gamble there on that last, well, a couple of the last cautions stayed out in the tires. You almost had it. Anything you could have done a little bit different?
If it wouldn't have been for my teammate racing me for the win, I probably would have raced a little bit harder, but I didn't want to wreck both of us out.
You had the 071 there on your back end. It's stuck strong. Any pressure from outside of your teammate there?
Brady, he was fast all night. I really wasn't watching him there at the end. I was just trying to keep it off that 49 car.
Let me ask you a question. What was the thought process? You started in 6th. What was the thought process on making the call to stay out?
I got in a bad position, and I don't know if I got hung. I got on the bottom or up high or something. I had a bunch of cars pass me, fell back to 9th, and I was running in the top 5 all night. And if I wouldn't have stayed out, there ain't no telling where I'd have finished.
Well, man, congratulations on 2nd place finish. Overall, are you happy with 2nd place?
I wouldn't say happy, but I'm glad one of our cars won it.
Right. All right, man. Well, congratulations, 2nd place. Not bad at all. And we'll hopefully talk to you next weekend. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to say thanks to John for everything he does over here, over the top paints, the wise guys, y'all, Covington Motorsports. I believe that's about it.
Thank you, man. And go out there and see if you can get that win next week. That was fun to watch tonight.
I'll do my best.
Thanks, buddy. Next up, this is going to be an interesting interview. We're going to bring in Brady Briggs, if I can find him. There we go. Hey, Brady, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, man, I've seen you race numerous times, and you almost was able to pull it off here tonight. You wasn't up there. You wasn't able to get up there and lead a lap, but all in all, do you think you kind of gave one away? Are you happy with finishing third tonight?
It's a little mixed feelings. It was I got spun out there mid-race or so, so I made a comeback up here. Took 2 tires there at that last stop. These guys didn't take any tires. I think with the yellow flags not coming out the way they did, I think I would have got that win tonight. But it's points race, and I didn't lock myself in yet. So at least we're coming away with a good finish here.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time. We're going to see you in victory lane, man. Next week we head to Atlanta, a very fast track, and especially in these cars, we don't know what's going to happen. How do you feel about heading there, one of the fastest tracks we go to?
I'm feeling pretty good about Atlanta. You're part of DRL too, so we were just there a couple weeks ago. So feeling pretty good about it, and hopefully get that win.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not surprised to see you up front. You're like you mentioned, DRL, of course, you're leading the points over there, always doing great over there, man. So keep doing what you're doing, and it's fun to watch you race every time I get to watch you. So anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, just everybody that makes this league possible. All the admins here at Lugnut Racing. Of course, you, Adam, up in the booth, broadcasting this for everybody at home. It's always great for them to watch it. Parents for watching, fiance for watching, everybody else out there for watching. It's what makes the sport fun.
That is for sure, man. All right, buddy. Congratulations on third place. I know you wanted to win, but hopefully we'll talk to you here next week in Victory Lane.
Hey, 10-4, buddy. We'll see you Tuesday.
You too, buddy. All right, man. Thoughts on the race overall?
I like the outcome at the ending. I really thought Bazell was going to stick it out there. I did not see the 49 pass him on the outside.
Yeah, right. I agree.
I hate to call a race early, and say that there's going to be cautions at the end, but there was, and like we said, it's just a part of racing. If you're going to do stages and you're going to set up the last 35 laps. People are going to get aggressive in those. Well, I wouldn't say aggressive, but they're going to take risks that they wouldn't normally take.
Yeah, going off kind of what you said, it's always good to see an actual race for the win, the last lap. I like seeing, some of these dominant performances always good. I think, in my personal mind, now this is mine, I'm always honest when I broadcast, I don't think the fastest car won tonight. Nothing against Dustin, but I think Wesley was the fastest car. But Dustin put himself in position to win that race, and that was very impressive to see him do that pass on the outside. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if many other people would have been able to do that pass. I know Brian mentioned that he would have raced him a little bit harder if it wasn't a teammate. He probably would have. But all in all, you've got to give it to Dustin, man. He put himself in the right spot at the right time and was able to walk out of here and set his way up to make the chase. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight, though, guys. A fun race. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Actually 3 p.m. I apologize. Broadcasting the Swiss iRacing Federation Road Racing League. And if you all ever heard me broadcast the Road League, you might want to listen because it's funny because I'm horrible at it. So we'll be doing that. And then tomorrow night we'll be with the NASRA guys for their late model league. It's going to be a fun one. So, yeah, I hope everybody has a great night. Man, you got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just happy to be back up in the booth with someone. It was a fun night, and thank you for having me up here.
Man, you did a great job. So thank you for stepping in and filling up for everybody. So everybody have a great night. Y'all take care. God bless.